Hey guys, so today's episode is about a woman, Makayla Meave Byers, who by all accounts was a wonderful woman, selfless woman. She loved children and she felt a need and a calling to be with and to help children. She was studying education. She was working I think she was working as a teacher's aide while she was in college. And she connected with a man who had custody of his 4 daughters. And, it felt like fate. It felt meant to be. She was unable to have her own children. So seeing these children in need and a man who had custody of his kids and seemed like a caring father, it all seemed like a perfect fit. But Frank Byers was not a perfect fit. And he was just looking for his next conquest. Once she was in and once he had her, it wasn't what it seemed. And there were problems. And when she, got up and said, you know what, I'm not going to be treated this way and I'm out. She still tried to stick around to be in the kids' lives because that's just the kind of person she was. And it led to her death. So stick around to find out what happened to Makayla Byers.
Hey!
What up, people? What's up, everybody?
Welcome. We are
2 peas in a crime pod.
We are on episode 54?
54.
Episode 54. And we're so happy you stopped by to sit in with this one. It's going to be a good one.
To be with us. Yes. Hello, everybody. Mom, I have a story to tell you.
Oh, I
so
love
exciting.
A story.
This is the most famous I've ever felt in my entire life.
What?
Are you ready? I felt a moment of I felt like, wow, you've made it. And
Tell
it was
me.
Simple, but it meant a lot to me.
Okay.
So I was at Clay's show over the weekend. My brother's in a band, and he was playing at a local McKinley Eagles club. You have to be a member to get in. So
yeah,
I snuck in through the back door.
Okay.
I was a roadie. I was with the band. So we were there, and our friend Shelly was there. You know Shelly.
Yes.
And her, are they married? Husband, boyfriend? They're married? Yes.
They're married.
Her husband was there, and I didn't even know they were there until I was outside ready to leave. And then Clay was like, oh, I was talking to Shelly, and I was like, oh, Shelly's in there? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I didn't even see her. I was like, I'll feel bad if I didn't say hi. I was like, all right, I'll go back in and say hi, and then I'll go. And I'm glad I did. So I go over to the table, and she was talking to Aubrey. Bart's daughter, Aubrey, was there.
Oh, Aubrey.
One of the twins.
Gotcha.
And I had been hanging out with her all night. And I walk over, and Shelly was like, oh, my God, there she is, the famous girl, the sensation. She's famous, everybody. This is my famous friend. And they were like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she said, I love your podcast. She said, I listen to it every single day. She says, he can attest to this. I'm not a good sleeper. I toss and turn all night. I'm never comfortable. I'm always up. I have the hardest time falling asleep, and I have to have something to listen to fall asleep. I can't fall asleep if I'm not listening to something. And she goes, your podcast is just perfect because it keeps me engaged. Even if I'm not sleeping, I'm not sad that I'm not sleeping, I'm listening and I'm engaged, or maybe I can peacefully fall asleep. Because like I said, I don't think it's me, but your voice is very soothing. I could see somebody sinking in and feeling comfortable when you're telling the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that you're boring, but that it's like aesthetically, it's calm and you know what I mean? For you listening to the Silence of the Lambs to sleep because most of the dialogue is smooth, right?
Yes.
So, that's not what made me feel famous. That's not it.
Oh, really? What?
Her husband goes, yeah, he goes, I listen to your voice every single night to fall asleep now. I feel like I know you. He was like 2 peas in a crime pod in my dreams. And that's what made me feel famous when he knew the name of it. And he was like, yeah, I knew your voice from across the room.
Oh, wow. wow.
She was like, yeah, I never miss an episode. She was like, I love you too. I love to hear your guys' stories go back and forth. And then I love the cases. Yeah, she was just talking us up to the other people she was sitting with. And she was like, oh, I tell everybody. And, Shelly, you have to know Shelly. Shelly's kind of like me. She's just like, hi, like everywhere. She's excited to see everybody all the time and always happy and jovial. And she's just like a light in any room that she's in. She's just very up all the time. And so she's just yelling across the room, my friend's famous. And she was like, I'm having our Myers Lake barbecue event with the music. And she was like, you got to come. You can sign autographs. She was cracking me up. It was so funny. But it was her husband saying in this way, yep, 2 peas in a crime pot in my dreams. That did it. That's what did it for me.
Okay.
So that really made me laugh. And I was like, we've made it.
We have made it,
We've made it into people's dreams.
That's cool. That's really cool. I haven't thought about being recognized.
Yes.
But that could happen if we continue to grow.
I feel like if we
us.
traveled to India, people know us already. We have such a huge following in India, and I feel like people would be like, I know those bitches.
That's true.
Yeah. So, no, it did. It made me laugh.
I would love to travel to India.
It was really nice. We'll have to put that on the list. That's on the bucket list now.
Yeah, that would be fun.
So, yeah. So I guess we've made it. But we have so many friends that that I know are dedicated. Like they know our little inside jokes, and I got a mysterious package the other day. It turned out that I thought I did a one-time purchase of something, but I subscribed and I need to unsubscribe. I need to do that today. Don't let me forget to unsubscribe. I don't want them charging me anymore. But anyways, I got this package and I had no idea what it was. And I remember Kim, I had made a joke when she sent us the cups that knowing Kim, who I had no idea it could be a funny, it could have been like a glitter bomb of dicks.
Yes.
And she had made a comment one time that when we hit a certain amount of subscribers, she was going to send me a glitter bomb of little glitter confetti dicks. And I will tell you, I couldn't remember the fucking amount of subscribers it was, but we have over 30,000 now. And I was afraid to open this package because I thought it was going to be glitter dicks. Turns out I'm just stupid, and I unknowingly subscribed to vitamin gummies, and I got more of them in the mail.
Oh, okay.
But no, I was looking at who the sender was, and I was like, I know this is dicks from Kim.
That's hilarious. I wish it had been. I would have loved to have heard about that.
Oh, I was dying.
Kim,
myself.
Please send her the glitter bomb, dig bomb.
So yeah. No, I know we definitely have some people who are always tuning in, and we love you guys. It means so much to us.
We do.
Because we really love doing this.
We're having so much fun.
Well, I don't know. Even if we weren't, I would still really like doing this with you, even if no one watched. I'm having the time of my life. But it does make it it's already a 10. So it makes it a 20.
Yeah, when people we were just enjoying it and we had no subscribers and we were just doing it, we were having the time of our lives.
Yeah.
And now we've got 32,000 subscribers plus, and it's kind of unreal.
Yeah, it's very surreal. And the fact that I feel like it's bringing anybody else any joy or comfort or knowledge, whatever it's bringing you, that you wanted to subscribe and you keep coming back and you're commenting, that just makes it so
really
much
worth
better.
It
Feels like we're all joining, it's fun for everybody, you know?
Yeah.
The joy is spreading now. So that's the goal. Yes. So yeah, good times. That made me laugh though. His face was so, what a trooper to just deal with Shelly flip-flopping in bed all night listening to bitches cackle and then talk about gruesome murder.
Right. Or whatever kind of crazy thing we talk about.
Or shenanigans, yeah.
Or men bash or whatever.
Oh, no, that killed me. So, yeah, there's my little story for today.
What is his name? It's on the tip of my tongue.
I don't know why Mark popped in my head.
It's not Mark.
But I feel like a piece of shit because I can't think of it, but I can't think of anybody's fucking name anymore.
Is it David or
Dave?
D name?
Well, and I met other people that night too. And I know I've met him before. That's what I'm saying. My brain is garbage. Here, hold on. I'll look up Shelly's profile and see if he's...
Brian?
It just says married.
Brian?
It doesn't say to who. Well, I'm a dick.
I know his name and it's just not
clicking. I'll think of it later.
Me too.
It'll pop in my head later, but not in this moment. I'm surprised I could even remember to tell you who Shelly was. And
we're just going to have to secretly say it every time. Every episode. Yes. Be like, good night. Sleep tight.
Give him his bedtime.
Hi, Shelly.
Yeah. Yes.
I feel like it's Brian.
Good morning, Shelly, and good night, Brian, or whatever. Yeah, you're probably right. It's not clicking.
Well, you were talking about the gummies. I started a new thing. So one of my riders, for those of you that don't know, I am a full-time Uber driver. And I love the riders that talk because most of them don't. They just play on their phone, in which case I have an earbud in and I'm listening to a movie. But the ones that want to talk, I click my earbud off and we talk. And I had this guy and he had a cane and was just having a really hard time getting around and, told me that he had been in the hospital and I was driving him to kidney dialysis at 4 a.m.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was like, so we're going to, and I named such and such whatever was on the app. And he was like, it's not that anymore. It's DaVita dialysis.
Oh, the one where Fisher's is? Or was it out of town?
It was not that one.
Okay.
It was in Canton.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay. He was like, yeah, it just comes up as that. It must have been that before. And I was like, okay. And I was like, so are you diabetic? And he was like, yep. And I was like, I am too. And he was like, I just started taking supplements. I've been taking them for the last 3 years instead of my diabetic medication. And I was like, okay, what are you taking? And he told me he takes this pumpkin seed oil and then this mixture of, it's a cayenne pepper, but it has like 12 other things in it, and it's specifically for diabetics.
Okay.
He said, just Google cayenne pepper supplement and it'll come up. And I was like, all right, I'm going to try it. So I did. And I've been taking pumpkin seed oil. I said, how much do you take? And he said, I take 3 pills 3 times a day. They're like capsules.
Yeah.
And he said, it takes a while to get into your system. Don't expect it to work immediately. But so I Googled the cayenne pepper and it has like turmeric, ginger, cinnamon.
Turmeric's for inflammation.
Yeah. It's more for heart health.
Okay.
Than for total.
Well, you also have congestive heart failure.
I was like, I can't lose on this.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it is for inflammation and heart health. But it has a ton of stuff in it. And I was just reading it while we were upstairs getting ready. And remember I told you my blood sugar was like 350 this morning?
Crazy high. Yeah.
That's what's different. I'm taking that supplement and it has sweet stuff in it. Like, I can't remember what it was called, but maybe that's what, because you're supposed to take 1 a day. I took 2 3 times a day, just like I did with the pumpkin oil.
What about 1 a day made you think that you should take 6?
He said he was taking 3 pumpkin seed oils.
Yes, 3 times a day, but not the other one.
He didn't tell me how much he was taking of the other one. And I just assumed it was going to be that much. Then while I was upstairs just now reading the bottle, it said you should take 1 once a day. And so I've been taking 2, 4, 6 a day. And here's the funny thing. It's causing this, like a little cayenne pepper acid thing in the back of my throat. And
yeah, you're taking a shitload of it.
But also like it's gagging me, like I'm choking to death because of the cinnamon, or like it's stuck in the back of my throat. But it's like,
sounds great.
Oh yeah, I know.
Sign me up.
And so far my blood sugar went up.
Okay, so stop taking 6 a day.
Well, I'll have to go down to 1.
Yeah,
and we'll see what it does.
How that helps.
Yeah, I'm curious.
But it won't do your heart any good if it rockets your sugar.
Exactly.
So we just need to find the right balance and see. I'm all about, holistic stuff. There is stuff out there that naturally helps you, but I'm also about good old-fashioned manufactured medicine if that's what's helping you. So,
Yeah. No, I'm not stopping anything.
There's room for both, yeah.
But I was thinking, because eventually I'm going to have to get off of Ozempic. I want to get off of it now. It's no longer helping me with weight loss.
I thought you were weaning onto the other one, Wegovy or what the fuck. It's not that.
Trulicity.
Yeah.
Okay. Trulicity is a lesser form of Ozempic.
Yeah.
There's like Ozempic, or there's Trulicity, and then Ozempic is a little better, and then the other one is better than all of that.
Okay.
That's the one where people are starting to look like skeletons that are on it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Kelly Osbourne, got it.
Yes. Oh my God, what is up with her? She doesn't even look the same.
She's going through something.
Oh, poor girl. She just looks like she's about ready to die, like Karen Carpenter or something.
Yeah.
But anyways, I filled out all the information, took it to the doctor, and this is what sucks about when you're like me and you can't afford name brand medications because they cost like $600 a month. You have to get the HELP program for poor people. So I qualify. I am living below poverty level, as are most people,
like most of us
in America.
Yeah.
And I filled out all the paperwork, made the copies of I have to do not just me and Chris's, I have to do Christopher's too, because
he
it's
lives
the whole
here.
household.
Yeah.
And took it to my doctor so they could fax it over. Well, they're supposed to fill out their part of it, which is the prescription part.
And they didn't.
Guess what they didn't do? They just faxed it So I get a letter from Trulicity, like, it's been like 2 weeks now, and it said, you are not eligible. And then it gives like a list of things that were reasons you might not be eligible.
So you just have to resubmit now and all that bullshit.
And the box that was checked was, we don't carry the medication. And I was like, well, I know that they do. It's Lilly Cares. They're the ones that make the Trulicity. Yeah. That's their big thing. And I called my doctor and explained what happened and to the nurse.
Yeah.
And she said, well, I never filled out I don't even have it in my records that I filled out an application or the prescription for that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think your receptionist just thought it was ready to go and faxed it. And now she was like, I was like, do I need to come in and get another one? She was like, yeah. She was like, or if you have a printer, just go to their site. You could just print it out. So I just did that this morning.
Hey, jump through some more hoops first.
Oh, it's such a pain in the ass. But so like I'm saying, I will have to get off of the Ozempic, and which is fine because it's not helping me lose weight. But it's not fine because it is really helping me keep my blood sugar down.
Yeah.
I mean, it is amazing in that regard.
Well, you just need to get on the different medicine right now. You need to keep putting in the self-work that you're doing to not overeat.
Yes.
And that's all mental.
Yes.
But stay on the Ozempic is helping. I think you think it's not helping at all. I think it is helping with more than just the blood sugar.
It is. You're right. I'm not losing weight, but I'm also not overeating.
Yes. So, we just need to keep putting in the work, and you'll get there. They'll send in the right form, and you'll switch your medicine, and yeah.
I did so when we got back from the cruise, I'm like ready to get back into this diet.
Yeah.
Because I have fallen off the wagon for like a month and haven't lost a pound and gained back actually 10 pounds of the 15 that I had lost. And so I'm back on track, but I realize what I am doing is not working. So I needed to do some self introspection and find out why it's not working or what I need to do that would help it to work better.
Yeah.
Because it's all mental. Willpower would be great if I had some.
Her model doesn't have that. Doesn't have that feature.
So I have to figure it out, but I am doing that.
You're getting there.
I wrote in I have a daily journal to reflect and figure out what will help me. Like every day I start the day with an intention, and then by the end of the day, I give myself a happy face or a star or a heart if I
Work towards that.
followed through with the intention. And I haven't been following through. I start out the day that way, but I just haven't been. And I've got to figure it out because
you have to.
I've got to make this work, but it's not easy.
No, but you're doing all the right things. You're definitely present, and you're reflecting, and you're self-aware, and you're doing way better than you were.
Yeah, I tried witchcraft.
How was that?
I apparently am not a good witch.
Maybe you're a kitchen witch.
I don't know what that is.
And they're baking up a storm.
Oh, I am a kitchen
wonder
witch.
You're not.
I'm a kitchen bitch.
That too.
I'm a witch bitch. No, I tried some witchcraft, and I went to the witchcraft store and I bought a book of spells.
Yeah.
And it turns out that it's all just dark. It gave me a really bad feeling, a really bad vibe. Like I just wanted to be not so much witchcraft, but the power of intention.
Yeah.
Which is kind of witchy in its own way.
I don't think that it has to be, but sure. Yes.
It can be. In other words, it's magical. It's kind of magical.
I think that when we start trying to use all of our brain instead of just a small portion of it, and we understand the power of our brain and manifesting and thinking
manifesting.
Something,
that's the word.
I think that because of the society that we live in and how capitalism works, we're made to feel like you're a fucking witch. You should burn at the stake.
Yeah.
Because they don't want us using our whole brain.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's evil. Using your whole brain is the devil.
So I made up a spell. I just made it up. And I was watching.
What are you about to say?
The movie.
With Sandra Bullock?
No, not that one. This is the young girl movie with that girl from
Witchcraft?
That Girl to Devil. That Girl to Devil.
Isn't that one just called Witchcraft? No. I can see the
Craft.
The Craft. It's Craft. Yes.
I was watching The Craft.
Okay.
And they have spells. And I was like, I love their spells. So one of the spells was by the power of 3 times 3. And you know how I feel about threes.
I do.
I feel that they do have power. And the number 9 I feel is very powerful because it's 3 threes. So that's three times.
3 groups of threes. Holy shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I made my spell by the power of 3 times 3. I control my destiny. And so it's not really witchy. It's just kind of a motto, an incantation that I can have faith in.
Yeah.
And that I want to do. I want to control my own destiny, and I'm not in control. I'm letting
grab
food
the reins.
Control me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. So I thought I'm going to try some witchcraft, and I bought this witchcraft book to see if there were some herbs or something that I could make a potion with that maybe I could drink or put around the house to help me have some power over food. And it was just really, I didn't like it. It was dark. It was most of the
maybe the spirits are mad at you for like playing around to try to lose weight, and that's not what it's about. Maybe the spirits were haunting you a little for misusing magic.
Maybe they were.
Yeah.
But yeah, I sent the book back. I got it out of my house. It was just like, it was very selfish. The witchcraft book that I got, all of the spells were about selfish things that were not positive. It was like love spells, money spells, just, I don't know. But not in a way that you wanted to be loving, but to make somebody love you.
Yeah.
It just was selfish and kind of dark.
Well, I think it's like anything. I think that you could manifest true love and finding what's good for you and finding what's good for finding the right thing. Or I think you could manifest making someone who's not your mate try to be your mate. You know? Like anything, I think it can go both ways.
I just got a bad vibe from it. So I was like, I'm not going to do this. And I bought this really cool journal. It's made out of leather. It's like a sheath of leather. And then it's folded over. And then inside is that old parchment paper.
Yes.
It is so cool. It's just beautiful. Like this book is beautiful. You just want to touch it and you want to feel the paper. And it's got like, the edges are uncut. They're not straight. They're all different. And you know, I wrote my first spell in there, and I was going to have this big book of all these manifestation spells that I was going to create myself that were going to be like ways to make me a better person.
Well, I think you could stay on the manifest destiny track and just lose the fucking
the witchcraft part of
it. Or you could stop thinking of witchcraft as like evil voodoo, like just take it for what it is, Well, if you're into there's supposed to be good witches and bad witches, just like in anything in life. There are people who want to use their powers for good, and there are people who want to use their powers for selfish or evil purposes, Like, you just need to be a white witch. You need to be a good witch.
Yeah.
Just
like
it's about
Stevie Nicks.
It's about bringing positivity to your life and those around you and bettering yourself to better the world.
Which is all I want.
Yeah, you can do that.
But what I really want is just my own self betterment so that I can overcome this goddamn food, which tells you how desperate I am that I turned to witchcraft.
Yeah. Why don't you just make a deal with the devil?
That's my next step.
Because you're going to hell anyways. So why don't you just
I think I'll sell my soul.
Sweeten the deal. Yeah.
And I'll seal it in blood.
Yes.
And then I will be over the food addiction.
To
everybody listening, no. Not going to do that.
Do you want an animal to sacrifice too while we're at it?
No, I do not want to sacrifice an animal. I would rather sacrifice myself.
I could see my mom. This is something I could see her saying that she did. Well, the spell book said that you had to sacrifice an animal, but I couldn't do it. So I went to the store and I got some chicken thighs. And I figured, well, somebody else sacrificed it. Same. And I threw those in. And I don't know why the spell didn't work. I could totally see you fucking saying that.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
I bought a stuffed animal. I cut its head off. It's the symbolism is what we were going for.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, Mama.
Shall we get into the case? Are you ready for this case?
Get into it, yeah.
Really good case. Really sad case. Just going to make you sad. Viewer discretion.
What's your VD?
It's going to bring you down. It's just
take you down to Chinatown.
Sad. This is murder and domestic violence. So if that's going to trigger you, then please pop back in for a different episode.
Okay.
All
right. I'm in it to win it.
Okay. Today we're going to be talking about Makayla Meave Byers from Oklahoma.
Is Meave Byers all one word, or Meave is a middle name?
Meave is her maiden name.
Oh, so okay.
It's a hyphenated last name.
I've never heard that before, so I was like, that's a kind of an interesting middle name.
Yeah, no, it's Meave was her maiden name. Byers is her married name. She was only 30 when she went missing and was eventually found murdered in Macomb, Pottawatomie County. I love Indian words.
I know you do. You can't fucking say them.
Pottawatomie County, Oklahoma. She was a incredibly loving mother of 6 children. It was a blended family, and to be perfectly honest, none of them were her biological children.
Okay.
She loved them all like they were, though. 2 of them were adopted.
Okay.
She could not have her own children physically. And then 4 of them were her husband's daughters that he had full custody of.
Okay.
So,
so she got a big family even though she couldn't have kids. That's beautiful.
And that's all she ever wanted. That was her dream.
Okay.
She worked as a teacher's aide while she was in college to get her teaching degree.
Okay.
And when she was young, her mom, Barbara, ran a daycare, and Makayla's love for children started with that. So she helped mom in the daycare, and she especially loved the babies.
Oh, that sounds like me.
It does. I just, when I was, researching, and I saw that she loved the babies because of, her mom having them around, I just remember you with your little brothers, and then, just with anybody's babies.
We did decorating Easter eggs in preparation for Easter, and one of the girls I used to work with, she has twins that are over a year old.
Oh.
And as soon as they got there, I was like, mine, because I know the twins because they went to the daycare and they were in the room that specifically the babies that I took care of.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, Matt, this will happen anywhere we go, anywhere where someone's even mildly okay with me holding their baby. That's my baby now.
And you are so naturally good with babies. You were born that way.
I love all kids. I do, but there's just,
You kind of remind me.
2.5 and under is just my sweet spot, though.
Yes. I just think that you get that from Grandma Ann. Like it's a biological thing she passed into your genes, because I am not naturally good with babies. As a matter of fact, when I was a teenager, I hated little kids and babies.
Really?
Didn't want anything to do with them. Hated babysitting. My aunt used to have me babysit.
Oh, that's true. Grandma Ann does always have a fucking kid around. Always.
She does, and she's good with babies.
She is good with kids.
She was good with you. I lived with her. Well, I moved in when I was 17.
After you had me 17.
I was 16 when I moved in.
Yeah,
with
when you
her.
moved in. Yeah.
And didn't know anything about babies. Like I said, I hated them. I
never knew that about you.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't want anything to do with anybody's
because I see
children.
you're so good with babies.
Only because I feel obligated, because I was treated poorly as a toddler. So I want to be a better thing for toddlers.
I don't know that the motivation matters. When I see you with young kids and babies, you're always so sweet and so kind and so good to babies. It doesn't feel not natural. It doesn't feel like a put on to me.
Well, it is.
Okay. Thanks for telling me that now after I let you babysit my children.
No. Here's what it is. I like my own babies.
Okay.
Other people's babies, I do not have an affinity for. I don't have a natural, I want to hold you like you do.
Oh, no. It's insane. It's borderline insane. I went to watch Matt play basketball. No, he wasn't playing. He was coaching basketball over the weekend. And I saw a woman trying to open doors herself, and so I ran out and helped her open the door to push her cart in. Mm-hmm. Well, she ended up on the same court as us, and she ended up sitting on the same bench as me, but a little farther down, because I was sitting like under the rim, which is the danger zone at a fucking basketball game. God. And she sat as far away as she could so that the baby was not in the danger zone. And I saw her like trying to hold the baby, but trying to watch the game and like I was just there to watch Matt coach and like to see how his kids did, and like I cared, but I didn't really have a dog in the fight, so to speak. And I will tell you, the whole time there was just some like a Tourette's syndrome. Something in my head was like, go ask her if she wants you to hold the baby. You should go hold the baby. See if she'd be cool with you. Make friends with her so you can hold the baby. Go ask her if she wants any help with the baby. Yeah. Offer to let her know that if she needs to piss, you'll hold the baby. The whole time.
Yeah, I don't have that.
And it sounds like creepy. And I didn't do it because I know that it would be creepy.
Like,
in our society,
why do you want to hold my baby?
It would be weird. I wish that we lived in a society that was a little bit more like, when you saw a mom alone, that it was like actually normal to be like, hey, if you need to take a piss break, let me know and I'll watch your baby for you. Like, we should be more like,
yeah, where it's not creepy,
helpful, because it takes a village.
Right.
But I do recognize that it's not, and she didn't know me, and what if I'm sick and her baby's young, and so I didn't, because I am self-aware.
But you really wanted to.
But I'm not kidding that the voice wouldn't go, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm not going to do that. That's so weird. You're not doing that.
Yeah, I've seen that in you ever since you were really little. It started with, the first time I noticed it was when I had Clay, and you were so good with him. And then when I had Christopher, you were really good with Christopher.
Raised Christopher. Do you remember I walked him everywhere? I would go get him at third quarter breaks at the football games and walk him around with me.
Yes.
I slept in his bedroom to wake up in the night with him. I fed him every single morning before school, to the point that I wore my jammy shirt until I was ready to walk out the door, because he might spit up on me. That just realistically, he's going to puke on me, and I don't want him to puke on my school clothes.
Right.
Yeah, no, you
were so good.
I used to baby. You left me alone with Christopher over a weekend, and I had to have been 13 or 14. I think Grandpa Todd came and hung out a little bit too.
Grandpa Todd was there.
But Grandpa Todd didn't do shit.
We went to Cleveland.
Yes. Grandpa Todd didn't help. He just was there to make sure there was no fire. But I was the one. He didn't hold Christopher. He didn't do anything. I'm not talking bad about him.
No, I know.
But he didn't have to.
Because you were the mom.
He was like, well, I'm going to go lay in your bed and watch TV. And I was like, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I knew how to make the bottles. I knew when to feed him. I knew I was on the schedule. I knew when to nap him.
And you were into it.
I loved it.
It was just natural.
I absolutely loved it.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like you get that from Grandma Ann. I did not inherit any sort of mothering from my mother. She didn't have that mother instinct She didn't have.
That's so fair. Yeah.
She never looked at a baby and thought, "Oh, I want to hold it." No.
I have been places where like the mom seemed a little like loosey goosey, and I've been like talking to them, and I was googling and like making eyes at the baby and making the baby giggle and stuff, and she was basically just like, "Here." I have held strangers' babies before. If they'll fucking let me, I'm down. If you have a baby and you need a nap or a night out or to take a shit, whatever it is, I will come hold your baby. Like I will love your baby like it's my own. I will lay down my life for that baby.
She will.
At the daycare, I had a room. There's how many kids in that? There's like 15 little 2.5 and under, and every one of them becomes my baby. I will hug each one of them.
Yeah.
I will kiss boo-boos. I will pick boogers out of their nose and wipe it on my jeans.
And she does it with a smile on her face and love in her heart.
It doesn't, yeah, no. And yes.
will do it, but it's an obligation. And how I learned my mother instinct was from living with Anne, my mother-in-law, and living and watching you and your natural ability to be so good with babies. I watched how you were with Christopher and learned a thing or two about how to naturally love.
I will tell you, I don't know why it's making me emotional to say so. I think it's because I've noticed over the years like a change in me, and I'm just not.
You're going to make me cry. What?
I'm not always as joyful and optimistic. I used to be optimistic. I used to be the person that was, it'll be all right, glass half full. And I used to just be like naturally joyful all the time. I used to feel a certain level of joy throughout the day. And I don't anymore. You know, if it wasn't for my own kids, there's not really any color in my life. Like I'm not feeling it on my own anymore or trying to even create it on my own anymore. I just am gray, you know? And I will tell you, like, that's why every time I end up quitting a job or something, I revert back to daycare, because when I am in a setting with children, even like I worked with 5-year-olds and stuff too, and other age groups. It's like how do I describe it? It's like anymore, there's always kind of a noise in my head or a low level hum of what's the fucking point? Or melancholy. Not good feelings, let's just say.
That's terrible.
And when I am with kids, it's gone. It's not even in my head. It's gone.
I can see that.
And it's not even until I like clock out or I leave kids that's what makes me sad, is that I like the hum comes back. And I realize, you know what I mean? Like I feel truly my most self and my most happy, like chipper, like just joy and love and lightness when I'm with kids. In that daycare, I was just so in my element, like happy, getting shit and pissed and puked on and breaking up fights with kids. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
But I just love, like I do just genuinely love them, like without even a thought or a hesitation. These kids that aren't mine, it doesn't matter what age, what color, what, nothing, you know? When I worked at All About Kids, I had this little black girl, Alea. Not Alea. I just said it. I can't think of, I'm saying her name wrong now. Regardless, this little 2-year-old baby, and she was so fucking smart. She was so smart. And she used to just call me Mom. She'd be like, Mom. And I'm a pale white woman. And she was a dark-skinned black girl, kinky hair, like the whole 9. And I'd be like, yes, baby. And like, I just thought it was precious, because you could tell, like, she just looked at me and she had to know that I didn't look like the colors of people she's used to seeing at home. And she was like, Mom. And I just scooped her up and took her everywhere with me.
I love that.
I just love kids. There's something so pure and so natural about kids.
Well, they are drawn to you. They can tell.
All they need is that. They just need you to love them and be like, introduce something like, this is a cup. What does it do? You know, like everything is new to them, and they just need you to like give them space to grow. And
yes.
I don't know. There is something special. I do. I love children very, very much.
Yeah, it's very apparent.
Which is why I wanted to become a mom young, which is why when I met my now ex-husband and he had a brand new baby, I was 19. That wasn't a deterrent to me. I fucking love babies.
Yeah.
I had raised Christopher when I was 12. Next came Chase, my cousin. you know, and all the kids along the way. And then I was babysitting kids. And like after Chase, Addison, Emma, there was just more cousins that were born. And my friends started, you know, having babies and stuff. And yeah, so of course at 19, Aubrey comes along and I was fucking down. Like, this is great. I don't have to ever give this back or put it down. This is my baby now, you know?
Uh-huh. Yeah, and you're so great with them. And like, if you watch your, like, I love your sense of humor, but I just love the way that life through your eyes looks better to me than life through my eyes. My eyes are so serious. And I've just always been from a young age a serious person.
Well, there was reasons.
And there was a time in my teens where I loosened up and became like a crazy juvenile delinquent.
There were reasons.
But then when I, became pregnant with you at 16 and got married at 17, I became very serious.
It was still, you buckled down, which was good, but you were still very serious about it.
Very
it was
serious.
Like a job that needed to be serious.
And it was partially your dad's humor that got me to seeing things in a different way, mostly with stupid, dumb movies that he likes.
Yes.
That I would never have always thought they were stupid before him. Like, who's the guy? Caesar? No, not Caesar, but he's in the movies.
Sid Caesar?
Sid Caesar.
Oh, Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks movies.
I knew. I was like, you mean Mel Brooks. My dad loved me, and we love Mel Brooks.
I never appreciated Mel Brooks until I married my ex, her dad.
There is something about my dad and a vibe he gives off. When he thinks something's funny or he's making it funny, you're laughing. He has that charisma. He has
funny.
that.
Our friend Kim told me that once. She was like, I sat down with you guys and watched the movie and it was hilarious, so I decided to watch it with Frank, and it just wasn't the same without Keith.
Yeah, both my dad and his brother, the two of them, they need a show. They
could be
something
famous.
About the two of them together. It's like the Jackass guys when they're together and there's that click between them, and it makes the dumb shit they're doing so funny. The bond that they have.
Absolutely.
Dad and Dirk are that way.
It is entertaining,
and you can watch them watch a movie. You are not watching the movie. You're watching them.
Yeah, like that.
Like
3000.
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yes,
you're listening to them overdub the movie and add their little whatever to it,
they're saying,
and
that
you're
just
dying.
comes out in real time. Yeah, and you got that ability.
I did,
but I've learned to loosen up over the years. I know I'm 52 now, and I can find the funny, which I never could before then. Before I got with your dad, I didn't get it. And that's when I really didn't like children and didn't like other people's children. But when I had my own children, of course I adored you and just wanted to protect you and just didn't want to be a negative thing in your life. But I didn't have the skills.
But being a parent is also scary, and like kids are always trying to fucking kill themselves and fall downstairs and stick shit in an outlet and put shit in their mouth and their nose and all their holes.
So you need to be a serious person.
It also is like you're so stressed all the time making sure that they're safe and taken care of and everything they need, and what does that cough mean, that you're overstimulated. It is hard to then find anything funny when you're like trying to keep something alive. That's hard to balance.
Yeah, that's trying to die all the time.
Yes.
But no, I don't have that need to touch other people's children.
You made me sound like a straight up pedo the way you just said that, but I don't have a need.
I believe I touched your children, and I think
they touched me too. I don't have a need to touch people's children in their hearts is how I would, emotionally. If I can make a kid smile that day or just feel seen or recognized, or like, because you don't know, when I'm at the grocery store or anywhere, I smile at everybody, first of all, but I always make a point to smile at children or even wave just to remind them that like, who knows what their day was like. Maybe I'm the only person that smiled. I don't know, but like,
it makes a difference.
Just feeling seen. I remember when I was a kid, when I felt seen, it made me feel good.
Absolutely. I can think of several times
when people weren't talking over me, but they were talking to me.
Yes.
And not talking at me, but to me.
Yes.
It's a huge...
Or noticing your mood.
Yeah. Yes.
I was at Walmart. I love... the Canton Walmart. There is the guy, and he looks to be around my age, probably around 50. And he's in a wheelchair, like maybe he has spina bifida or something. You can tell he has
black glasses.
You can tell he has no use of his
Yes,
legs.
yes. Yeah, I know that guy because we see him all the time. And one time we went through the checkout line and Lindsay said, "Oh, it's you again." And you have to know my daughter to know that she thinks she's being funny. And she doesn't understand that this guy doesn't know she's being funny. And it sounds more like,
no.
the cripple. I got the cripple again. And I was like, she thinks she's being funny. And he was like, yeah, it's me again. And like, he didn't.
Well, he is amazing with children. So, okay, one day a little boy.
He was really good about her being a dick that time. So yeah.
I witnessed a little boy in real time got separated from his mom. Aww. And was crying inconsolably. He looked to be about 6 years old.
Aww.
And he was just crying. And all the employees and the young girls that work there were standing around just watching him cry. And, you know, they didn't know what to do. It'd be like me before you.
Yes.
Before I learned some skills. They had no idea what to do. They were just like on, you know, the speaker saying, we have a little boy.
You should go over, get down at their level, eye level with them. Say like, what's the matter? Do you need something?
That guy wheeled over, took that little boy in his arms and just held him. I'm going to cry thinking about it and I cried watching it. Just held him and said, "It's okay. It's all right." And you could tell the little boy didn't speak English. He was like,
like
Mexican,
something, Guatemalan, something. Right. Yes.
You know, and, but it didn't matter. He calmed down.
A soothing voice and
he was just
petting
him and say, "It's okay. You're going to be okay." And just paying him focus totally on him. And I watched the man in the wheelchair do that. And I was just like, I love him.
Well, thank God somebody around here had some freaking instincts.
Every time I see him, I smile at him and say hi. I just love him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he was so wonderful with that little lost boy. But, yeah. We got off on a big sidewinder.
No, I was going to tell you though, when we go to, so I taught the kids entering into kindergarten at the summer Y Care camp one year. And I had this one little girl, Margot, and she's a little sweetheart. And she remembered me because I was her camp counselor all summer, you know, and I always, you know, the Y has a rule about like one arm hugs. They don't want accused of any, you know what I mean? Fire me then. Those kids needed fucking hugs. And I was in the inner city of Canton, and some of those kids needed a fucking hug.
Absolutely.
Okay? And I never denied anyone. If they came running towards me to jump in my arms, what, I'm going to one arm catch them? No. You're going to fucking hug. Watch me on camera. It ain't weird. I'm not being weird with your kids, you know?
Yes.
I gave them hugs every day. Some of the older kids, it didn't matter. If they wanted a hug, I was there to give you a hug. And Margot has an older brother who's on my nephew's baseball team.
Oh.
So Margot, she saw me. I said, "Is that Margot?" And she looked over and she wasn't expecting me to see me at this baseball game, right? And she comes running and gives me a big hug. Well, she had a little friend who was there. I guess this girl's mom is a coach. Her husband's the coach. So this little girl's at all the games too. And this little girl sees Margot like sitting on my lap and hugging me and talking with me. And she's like, "This must be a cool person." So she comes over and she starts talking to me. Mm-hmm. And she's just a sassy little sweetheart. And she's so funny. And so I'm talking to her and getting to know her. And she climbs right up in my lap too. And I'm looking around for her mom. Like, I want to make some sort of eye contact to be like, is everything cool? Like, she's fine. Are you cool? I'm a safe person. I got family here. I'm not a complete stranger to the situation. My kids go to school. I have kids here.
Yeah.
And the mom right away was like, "Is she bugging you?" And I was like, "Not at all. She's not bugging me. Like, go take a break. Enjoy watching the game. I'll watch her for a minute. She's fine." These girls, every fucking game, find me. They come one on each lap. Sometimes I hold a phone. We watch a phone together. Sometimes we feed each other snacks. We giggle and laugh, or we start something funny. And this little girl will not even Margot, who I knew, this little girl will just give me kisses on my cheek and be like, "I love you." And I'm like,
kids love you.
I'm like, "I love you too."
They can tell.
And
they know.
Yeah. So
when I say you're so shiny, every time I tell you that, that's the you I'm talking about. You are so shiny.
I haven't seen her for a whole season. So we had the first baseball scrimmage a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And when I got there, I was like, I'm not in a kids climbing in my lap mood right now. I just don't feel well, And so I kind of stayed huddled a little bit and quiet. But eventually Margot found me. And she came running over, and then the other little girl too, and they were right in my lap. And I'll tell you, I felt better immediately. And Clay was like, I thought you didn't.
Isn't that funny?
Clay was like, I thought you didn't want them on your lap. And I was like, I missed them. I missed them too much. I'm glad they found me. I missed them. And the mom came over, and she was like, oh, she's at it again. And I was like, she has an older sister too. And even the older sister came over and started, sitting with me, sitting beside me, playing with us. And I was like, your kids are darling. I was like, they're wonderful kids. I was like, they just crack me up. They're so smart and funny. And I was like, they're not bothering me. They're not a problem. And she was like, well, they seem to like you. And I was like, they are fine over here with me. So
I love that about you.
Yeah.
But that is how our girl Makayla was, exactly like you.
Yeah.
With kids.
So when I hear about people like that, I get it. Where it doesn't matter. She was adopting kids. She just loved kids. It wasn't a biological thing. Just a human nature thing. And she was happy to raise somebody else's kids. And
yeah, she fostered first. She was a foster mother, and then she adopted them. But she was described as deeply devoted as a mother and a caregiver. And her sister Andrea said that she really loved children and wanted to help children, especially who were in need. Like that was a calling for her.
Yeah, absolutely. There's something about realizing that, like, not every kid is getting a hug. Not every kid is having a nice word said to it, or a meal, or a coat when it's cold. And sometimes, the coat when it's cold thing might not even be because your parents don't like, you know what I mean? Like, parents who deeply love their children go through tough times and struggle, but the kids struggle with them. And you never know, like, yeah, like I said, really all children need, even the ones who seem bad, like heathens or whatever, like, really just need a fucking hug and just someone to talk to. Just sit and listen to them talk about the fucking Pokemon and the Legos, and just listen,
engage. My favorite monsters.
Yeah, just,
that was Christopher when he was little. Mom, you got to hear my song I made with my favorite monsters. I'm trying to work. I'd be like, okay, set the thing down and listen. I had to tell myself to do that.
Give them some time, make them feel seen. And that does so much for their self-esteem and for their regulation, that everything else will come. If those things are doing well, your math skills, your reading skills, your dialogue, like, that'll all come if you have the foundation to build on. And so, no, I totally see where she's coming from, where she just, like, it's easy to love the good kids. It's easy to love the kids that smell good and are really clean and well-behaved and polite. Those kids are so easy to love, It's more challenging to love the kid who shows up and might have head lice and smells like they don't have toilet paper at home and is bouncing off the fucking walls or throwing shit or biting. It's more challenging to love those kids, but those kids need love more than any other kid.
That is so true. They do, because they're
starving for it.
Yes. That's what I was.
And those kids need hugged. You think those kids don't know? You think I didn't know that I smelled like cigarette smoke coming to school every day when I was little? Kids that's not fucking oblivious to us. We know from a young age, like, social cues. And when we don't quite fit in, or we're the smelly one or the poor one. I was the poor one in the sweat clothes and the fucking no new nice shoes. And that wasn't lost on me. And it made me feel bad about myself, and it made me judge myself. And there was definitely the people who made me feel like, we love you. It's cool. We got you. You don't need new shoes. You
had some great teachers.
I had phenomenal teachers.
Yes,
I did.
You did.
I did.
And they did love you.
Yes. They were wonderful. And they impacted me. I think it's why I wanted to be a teacher. They impacted me so, because I was they are doing so much for me. I want to be able to do. I see how important that is. So yeah, I totally get where she's coming from. Like, just, there's room. Come on in.
Yeah, everything we've said pretty much sums up Makayla
Meave.
Meave. I'm sorry. What did I call her? Meade?
Yeah,
Meave.
I think you said it was Meave. That's what
it is. Meave. to a T. That was her. So she had reconnected with this old classmate of hers, and his name was Frank Byers, and he contacted her on Facebook. And they got together. As I said, he had 4 girls that he had custody of.
You did say that.
When he first started dating Makayla, he told her, the girl that I'm with now is mistreating my children, and I need to find somebody better for them. And he had like this whole line.
That seems admirable.
Yes, it seems
Putting the
admirable
kids first.
that he's got kids and he cares about them.
Yeah.
You know, obviously he must be a good guy because he's got custody of all of his kids.
That is another, yes, absolutely. That's a seemingly green flag.
Yeah. So immediately, you know, she's falling all over herself to do better for his girls. He got custody of his 4
kids. He doesn't want to just date anybody to date him. He wants a mother.
Mm-hmm. So she's definitely willing to fill that role, and she did.
I'm sure. It seemed like destiny. It seemed like a fate, soulmates. You know.
Yes. Yeah. So they ended up getting married in June of 2022, and she, as I said, loved the girls, but the marriage became strained almost instantly, unfortunately. He was allegedly chronically cheating.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So she ended up separating from him a few months before her murder. And basically, she moved in with her sister for a week. And it was just a few days. And then she just couldn't stand being away from his daughters, but she didn't want to necessarily be with him. So they had this little she shed behind their property. Okay. And she moved into that so that she was kind of separated from him, but could be close to the girls.
Okay.
And that's how she was living.
You got to really love those kids. She must have.
Yes.
And I see that. I get that. But I get it.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know. It breaks your heart.
It is so much easier for me to love kids, and I can drop dudes. It is a lot easier. That's why I'm always hesitant to date people who have children. Because I'm like, I might get tired of you, but I will.
Yeah.
I will never get tired of this
kid. Fall in love with the kid, and then the relationship doesn't work, and then you're out of the kid's life.
Yeah.
And that's hard.
It's just as hard for the kid. I don't want to put the kid through that either. Yeah.
Right.
Clover's having a freak out. I don't know if that's going to come across on the mic or not, but.
Probably. Well, basically, she had been doing that for a while, but she decided he's not going to change. This is going to continue to happen. And she decided she was going to bounce.
Okay.
So she was going to leave for good. So then.
Well, good for her.
September 16th of 2023. So they got married in June of 2022. So it's only been.
So quickly she uncovered some shit that was like, yikes. Well, good for her, because most people
stick around
for a long time. Yeah. Most people don't like, well, let's see how it goes. Maybe he's going to change. She gave him a chance and was like, nope, it is what it is. I'm not doing this. Good for her.
Yep. Basically, Frank, her husband, called Makayla's sister Andrea crying and frantic. He said she had left voluntarily with a bald guy who had a beard in a white pickup truck, and they had gone on a date the night before. His explanation, so basically, he's talking to the sister, and he's like, I haven't heard from her, and I'm concerned. So they're like, well, we need to call the police and make a missing persons report. So he tells the police, we have an open relationship. And he's like, I hate it, but it's something I have to do if I want to make this relationship work. So this is what he's telling the police.
Right.
So she went on this date with this guy last night, and I haven't seen her since. And that's not like her. And she's not responding
to anything. Okay.
Yes. So he stated He did receive some Facebook messages from her saying she was fine and for him to back off. So,
Okay.
the deputy felt and stated that Frank seemed squirrely as he's talking to another deputy. He just describes him as squirrely. There's something squirrely about this guy. That's his initial gut reaction as a police officer.
Okay.
They wanted to check the shed, but it was locked, and Frank didn't have a key. So they looked through the windows and didn't see anything. They left, and then Frank broke the lock on the shed, and the deputies came back and immediately saw 22 shell casings on the floor everywhere in the shed. Frank stated Makayla would sit in the doorway of the shed and shoot coyotes or small critters. And that's why the gun casings were there. Like, that was just like a hobby of hers, which I can see my grandfather did the same thing.
Like, okay, maybe. I can't say that it's unheard of.
No, I totally believe that that's probably true. My grandfather did that all the time.
Also, it would be unlikely that somebody shot a person that many times with a .22 caliber weapon, and then also if it was a crime that they didn't take that many casing. Like, you might forget one casing or it might shoot somewhere.
Right.
But if you're walking over a shitload of casings, that's odd. So, okay.
It was just weird that she's missing and there's 22 casings everywhere.
But if there already was 22 casings everywhere, because she did have this hobby that neighbors could verify, and then you just shot her once in the head with a .22 casing, no one would notice.
That's true. That's true. So Frank had the .22 in his house. It was a rifle. And the deputy noted when he looked at it that it appeared to have been fired recently, like very recently. I don't know how you could tell that, but the deputy actually said the gun appeared to have been fired recently. So there must be a way that you can gauge that. Would you know how you can gauge that?
Unless it had just been fired and was warm to the touch, because they're like, if there's soot at the end of the barrel or something like that, you can't tell how recently. That's not that I'm aware of.
Not that I'm aware of either.
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm not a gun aficionado.
I have shot guns a lot in my life, and no, I don't know how the fuck you would. Like I said, warm to the touch, or a hot casing that just came out,
and it wasn't that,
then I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah, I don't either. He didn't elaborate, so I don't know. But he did say it appeared to have been fired recently.
Unless he just means from the positioning of it, like it was all the other guns were in on a shelf or in a case, and this one was just out.
No, he was handling it and looking at it.
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to look into what that means then, because I don't know what the fuck that means.
I don't either. Maybe it just had some bullets missing from the clip.
Okay. Maybe. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Maybe the clip wasn't full.
Again, if you're just randomly shooting coyotes as they walk through your yard, it's not going to be a full clip necessarily, though. That would still jive with that story. I just don't understand to take that statement at face value. If it was, you could tell it's been fired recently.
I'm gonna Google it when I edit this, and I'll put a little blurb up if I come up with something.
Think that you can tell that.
So that was, what did I say, the
September of
14th? The 16th is when he called her sister. So the 15th is when she had apparently left with some bald guy.
The evening of the 15th,
in a white truck. On September 20th, her body was discovered. So her mother was frantic. She had been searching the brush in this pasture, like thick grass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she actually stated that she heard Makayla's voice in her head say, "Mama, I'm in a tin horn." Do you know what a tin horn is?
No.
It's a culvert, like a drain ditch.
Oh,
that goes under the driveway and allows the water to run through.
Yeah.
Like those things.
I know what a culvert is. That makes sense. I just didn't know they were called that.
Yeah, they're called tin horns. I didn't either. But she heard Makayla's voice say, "Mama, I'm in a tin horn." And she said she immediately started looking for drainage ditches everywhere to find her daughter and just wouldn't give up.
That's fucking wild.
But as people from all over that area who knew Makayla came and helped search, and it was cold and it was rainy, and they loved her. She was well loved. So it went on for days because that was the 16th, and this is
they
the
found
20th.
her on the 20th. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Most local people were there to search, but guess who wasn't? Who never came out to search once?
Oh, dickhead.
I'll give you 3 guesses, but you only need one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frank.
The guy who already knew where she was.
Yeah, Frank Byers. He didn't come out to help search even once. So, after a 5-day search, a cousin was who had discovered her body. It was in a drainage culvert 2,000 feet from the home.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that weird that the mother knew it?
Yeah. So, I mean, some sort of intuition, some sort of spiritual connection. I really would love to believe that I would have that with my children. If there's a bond that's there would be one. I could see that. I could see that with me and my kids for sure.
I can too. Yeah.
Although I've heard other parents in interviews say, I loved my kids as much as I'm saying I love my kids, and I have no doubt that they did. And they said it made me feel like something was wrong with me that that didn't happen, that I wasn't able to hear them, or that the second that they were murdered and they took their last breath, that something in me didn't like I didn't know. And I was searching for them thinking that they were alive and they weren't. And how did I not feel that? I should have felt that. And I can also say that that's how I would feel. Like, I think
just got
if something happened to Lindsay or Harvey or Aubrey, anybody, if something happened to one of my children, I 110% feel that I will know. I'll feel it immediately. I would know something, even if it was just off, I would know. And yeah, if I didn't, and it turns out that I was searching for them and they were dead, I would absolutely feel like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Why didn't I should have felt that, because they're a part of me. Like, we are so connected. So
Yes.
I've heard both sides of that before, and I totally get it.
So when they found her, Makayla had been wrapped in a carpet. She was partially undressed. The medical examiner found that she had 2 gunshot wounds to the head, one right between her eyes on the forehead, and the other one on her left temple, like over here. And then she had a graze wound on that same side of her head, as though she had been shot and a bullet grazed her.
Missed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So backtracking to the 15th, it's definite that Makayla returned to the property after work to collect her belongings and leave.
Okay.
She had gone to Frank's house because the reason they found out is they got Frank's phone and they found security footage. And they think that he thought he had deleted it, but they found it. So it was probably in the recently deleted files.
I tell my kids all the time, once you've taken it, it's never really gone. That's something you need to understand about technology.
Yeah.
Dipshit.
So she entered his home and she stayed for 14 minutes, and then the footage showed her leave.
Okay.
And the last frame was him standing in the doorway watching her leave. Investigators believe that Frank followed her to her shed with the .22 rifle and shot her right then. But now they just had to prove it. So that's the hard part. Meanwhile, Frank is on social media proclaiming his innocence.
Of course.
He went on a TV show and said how much he missed her and was crying. But do you think there were tears?
There never are.
No. Just so unbelievably fake.
It's a show.
Yep. But her family said there was no way Makayla wanted an open relationship like he told the police.
Right.
They said Frank was the one who was cheating. He
Yeah.
was doing all the cheating, and that's why Makayla was leaving. So they kind of, everything he said.
He found out that she was going on another date, and he didn't like that.
Well, police were looking for every...
A white truck, bald guy.
Yes, in that area.
It's probably, that was, like, honestly, it could have been a fucking lie. But maybe he found out simply that she was texting someone else.
Well, they couldn't find anybody.
Yeah.
There was... her family said if she had been dating some guy, they would have known about it.
I'm sure.
That she wasn't dating a guy. She had been trying to give Frank a chance, and he kept failing. So they actually found she had made a recording of their last argument, and she recorded her telling him, "You blew it. It's definitely over, and, this is your fault."
Yeah.
So, let's see.
Just a classic case of if I can't have you, nobody can.
Oh, well, the police were able to find out that he was texting women the day that Makayla went missing. And on the day of her funeral, he was texting women and taking selfies and asking how he looked in his tux. But he's trying to tell police that they were trying to make their relationship work, and he was trying to agree to open relationship.
He hated this idea, but he wanted her so badly. He really fucked himself.
Oh my God, this guy is such a piece of work. Okay, here's the part. I knew I had written. She had moved out 3 months before her murder. She stayed with Andrea for a week, and then she moved back to be with the girls. 2 days before her murder, she recorded a conversation with Frank in which she told him he had officially lost her and it was over. And meanwhile now, Detective Black was looking up Frank's other girlfriends. So he's like needing to find some more information. Right now, they just don't have proof. There's just no proof of anything.
It's all speculation at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he found this girl named Crystal, and this was actually Frank's girlfriend before Makayla, who was supposedly abusing his girls.
Yes. Yes.
She said he wooed her the same way he had wooed Makayla.
He
with
told
the
me
same
I need a good
exact
MO.
story.
Yeah.
She said she wasn't abusing the girls. She said he began controlling her, isolating her from her family. This is the kind of guy he was. As soon as she moved in,
he just wanted he was wooing a caretaker for the girls so that he had more time to go fuck around.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I need a bitch here to watch these fucking kids so that I can, get my dick sucked.
But he wanted to be controlling. He didn't want her to have her own life. He wanted to control everything.
Yeah.
She told this Detective Black that she woke up one night to him standing over her holding a pair of handcuffs, and that he was just getting ready to put on her, and she was able to swat the handcuffs away so that he couldn't get them on her. But in the struggle, she winded up on her stomach and he was choking her. He was on her back, choking her. But after a struggle, she did get away, but she said she didn't report the incident to the police. She just wanted to get away, and she just left him.
I get that.
Yeah. That's what women do.
Yeah, because what would the fucking police have done anyways? Well, then you should leave. Why do you stay with him? And what are we supposed to do? And he said that he didn't do that. So.
Yeah, so basically her story looked like Makayla's.
A precursor.
Except for she wasn't murdered.
Yep.
So this detective, Dakota Black, is building this case against Frank. I'm pretty sure Dakota Black is a woman.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. Yes, she's a tracker. She's good at tracking missing people. So she's a very good intuit type person.
She sounds like a really great detective from a novel with that name.
Yeah. She can find people,
Black.
She's giving a description of who she's found, and it's like people buried under leaves, in hidden places. She just has a nose for where there might be missing people found.
Okay.
So she's just kind of that
Good
way.
at her job, yeah.
Yeah. She found Walmart footage of Frank buying bleach, ammonia, and a mop the day of Makayla's disappearance. Imagine that. What would that? Why would he need
Spring
that?
cleaning
I guess it's just he wanted to do some spring cleaning.
in September.
So, also in her investigation, they were able to match the carpet that was wrapped around Makayla's body to a carpet that a neighbor had given Frank and Makayla for their dogs about 8 or 9 months before the murder.
A remnant for the dogs.
Yes.
Nice.
So, I know, right? This guy is not too
good on
brilliant.
that neighbor for saying, like, that carpet came from me.
Yeah. So,
Because the neighbor was probably like, I don't want them fucking saying I did it. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah, heck yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Detectives had determined their conclusion was the killing occurred shortly after she returned to retrieve her belongings at 4 p.m. They believe it was intentional and premeditated. And then he left her body in her shed and went to pick up his daughters from school. And then he drove around for about 4 hours with his daughters in the car and finally returned home around 8 p.m. Then his kids actually told investigators that he was outside most of the night, not in his bed.
He drove them around till it was bedtime so that he could just force them to bed instead of
They
go play in the yard.
He didn't want them discovering her
Yeah.
in the shed.
Get home and then it's straight to bed. No backyard. No, don't go say hi to her. No, just it's bedtime.
Yep. So they also, in their investigation, had found fresh tire tracks leading up to her shed. Here's one thing I didn't tell you. Makayla was a big girl. So she's about my size, maybe a little smaller, but she's a big girl.
Okay.
They believe he backed his truck up and loaded her body inside the carpet into the truck and then drove to the ditch where he ended up dumping her. She would have fallen down. I think it was like a 12-foot
Like drop.
decline. Yeah. And then he just dropped her off the truck and then went down and
Pushed her into the...
pulled her into the culvert. Yeah, the tin horn. Let's see. Then he concocted this plan to cover up his crime involving Makayla's phone.
So he texts himself from her phone like, you're being a nut, I'm fine.
Yeah, because investigators ended up finding her phone in his bedroom.
After he sent that I'm fine text, he should have ditched that fucking phone.
What was he thinking? He's just not very smart.
He should have, and if the culvert was only 2,000 feet away, why not go throw it in there? Wipe your fingerprints off, throw it in there, and be like, I don't know, she must have been fine at some point, and then she was real not fine.
Yep.
Looks like that date went sour. You know, like, you are smart enough to know that it'll look less suspicious if you're the one that reports her missing, like you're concerned.
But he keeps the phone.
But then you keep, yeah.
And he uses his personal items, the carpet that a neighbor knows I gave you that carpet.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not.
Fucking dumbass.
Yeah, completely a stupid idiot. All right, so they found the phone in his bedroom, and then they're questioning him, like, well, how did she text you on Facebook if her phone was in your house? How did that happen? And he's just like, I don't have an answer for that.
I bet you don't.
So the show,
And at no time did you say she was ever in your room. You guys spoke in the living room, and then she walked right back out, and we saw that. So when was she in your room to drop her phone off there?
right?
Like,
So the shell casings that were recovered in her shed matched those found at his home, as well as, and get this, a bullet that was found embedded in the wall of the shed that had Makayla's hair and blood. You know how bullets get all mangled? The one that grazed her. They looked for it, and they found it embedded in the wall. So
we got you, fucker.
yeah, the DNA testing said it was hers. It was her blood. And he had a pair of work boots that had some staining on them that they recovered that the day that he reported her missing. I don't think he thought they were I think he thought his little story about the bald guy, I don't think he realized they were going to come in his house and treat it as a crime scene.
Yeah, I don't think that he's ever done any like statistical research on like the first person that they always investigate as the significant other.
Yeah.
Especially the recently broken up significant other. Like,
yeah.
You're like fucking prime target number one even when you didn't do it.
Exactly.
Which, statistically speaking, again, is
unfortunately
not often that you're innocent.
So the stains turned out to be Makayla's blood on his boots. And basically they were just waiting for that result. The instant that they got the DNA result back.
Yank.
Yep. It was October 24th of 2023, close to midnight, 38 days after her murder. I was going to say
just a month out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The SWAT team went in, took him down, and arrested him. So I love that. They charged him with first-degree murder, unauthorized removal of a body, and desecration of a corpse.
Those poor girls. All those kids.
Who had a loving presence in their life. A mother figure. Mm-hmm. And now she's gone. And now their stupid father
is in prison.
Yep. So initially, he pled not guilty to the charges, but the DA was seeking the death penalty. So 15 months after his arrest on January 31st of 2025, he accepted a plea deal. Basically, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole. So Barbara, who is Makayla's mother, is actually incredibly upset that he got the choice to plea for the lesser sentence. Yeah. She didn't want that. She wanted him to get the death penalty.
I'm sure.
And she also does not believe he acted alone. As we said, Makayla was a very heavy girl, and Barbara and Andrea, her sister, they don't think he was actually physically capable of moving her body alone. And that's dead weight. Dead weight is much harder to move and carry than a living person. Yes. So they think he had some help moving her. They don't think the other person helped murder her or planned it or anything, but
somebody helped get her in the truck.
Yep, that's what they think. And the police said, we're sorry we don't have evidence of that, but if anything ever turns up, let us know. We will investigate it. In the meanwhile, Barbara started Makayla's Purple Butterfly Foundation, and this is to help women affected by domestic violence. So if you want to look into that, Google search it. But what a story. This beautiful soul who just wanted to love and take care of children especially.
Yeah.
Just...
And be treated right. She's just this person who didn't want to be cheated on.
And for what? She just wanted to leave.
Yeah.
She said, treat me right or I'm out. And he could have chose to treat her right.
Yeah, go date one of those other girls you're fucking.
Instead, he decided to continue to cheat. And then when she said, okay, I guess I'm out, he said, no, you're not. And just took her away. What kind of a heartless snake?
Yeah, how fucking insecure, heartless.
And stupid. And I'm glad he was so stupid. I just love all of his
it makes
mistakes.
detectives work easy, but...
Yeah.
But you'd have to be stupid to do something like that. Let's start there.
And this guy is not a bad-looking guy. He's a good-looking guy. He can have anybody he wants.
Never are. It's not even about that, though.
I'm just saying, Yeah, but no, it's never about that. It's this guy...
It's always about how ugly they are on the inside.
That's exactly what it is. But... that's all I have for you today.
Well, leave a butterfly or a purple heart for Makayla.
In memory of her. Yeah, it's the Purple Butterfly Foundation. Yeah. So leave a purple heart or a butterfly for Makayla, if you've stuck with us this long. We thank you so much, and please stick around for the next episode coming out on Saturday. It's going to be really juicy, so you're not going to want to miss it.
All right. Be here. Be there or be square, as they say.
Thanks for stopping by.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.